You ever see a movie that you feel like you've seen like in every other movie? Or you ever see a movie that you feel like, oh, this action movie feels like another action movie, or another action movie, or another action movie, or another action movie? This kind of feels like that. It's not a bad movie per se, but it just feels like it's just trying to hit the playbook numbers a little too hard. And unlike other action films, I don't think this plane will successfully land. So I went and saw Plane recently in theaters. Now, here's what I can tell you all about it. All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm not gonna tell you not to go see it, but I'm gonna tell you that you ain't missing much. Here's what we know. So there is a air pilot, Marshall, who is flying a commercial plane, and tell me if you've heard this story before. And he's just going on a completely normal routine trip, but the safety airline people want him to cut through this massive, giant, horrendous storm right above it because they think, oh, he'll be just right barely above it. That storm's not going to hit him at all. Him and the passengers on the plane will be perfectly fine. Oh, and by the way, we're also boarding an ex-convict sociopath psychopath killer on your plane who's committed multiple homicides on your plane. And he's just a passenger now, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. So he flies the plane. And wouldn't you imagine it? Oh no, the storm that he was worried about, he gets caught in the storm. Wow! And oh no, you're telling me that things go horribly wrong with the plane because they're in the eye of the storm and they have to make an emergency landing on an unknown island full of refugees as well as a lot of, militia and territorial groups that take and claim whatever they want as their own. And there's no way to get help. Oh no! Whatever will this unlikely hero and this unlikely criminal have to do? Oh, you'll tell me they're gonna have to team up in order to save all of the passengers on the plane and make sure they get home safely? Oh, gee. Where have I seen that before? So, how is the movie? Well, if you didn't obviously catch from all the sarcasm that I just laid down upon you, it's all right. It's nothing special. It ain't anything super great. It's just an action film. Bad guy obviously, tries to do right by becoming a good guy and prove that, he's not a bad guy. You know, he's trying to do right by the marshal and oh, oh, sorry. Even talking about this movie makes me tired. Wants to basically get off the island just as much as the marshal and the passengers do. And yeah, they try and infiltrate this militia group. Try and find help, only for the militia group to capture the passengers and capture the people and kill people. And then the marshal and the homicidal maniac team up to kill the militia group and yada yada yada. They try and work on the plane, yada yada yada. They try and save the day, yada yada yada. They try and get off the island, yada yada yada. look, unlike other movie review shows on the internet and stuff, I only have less than 10 minutes to really talk about a film. So, unless it's like a film I'm really like passionate or in depth about. So, like, I'm gonna be honest, guys, this one was just kind of meh. Now, it was nice that thanks to a friend of mine, along with T-Mobile Tuesdays, that I got to see the film at a discounted rate for $5. So thank you for the code on Adam to use to go see this movie. I did appreciate that. Did it kill an hour or two of my time? Yeah. Did I like it? Nah, I thought it was just okay. It was very just meh. So, I mean, the action scenes were good for what they were, but I've seen action scenes that gauged my interest a bit more in other films. I did enjoy the action scenes and the fight scenes and the intense scenes. So there was that. And I did enjoy the performance of the actors and actresses. So the characters were fine. They weren't anything memorable. I can only remember the I think I remember the killer, the guy from the militia group, the marshal, and that's it. I think I remember one of the stewardesses. So you could tell that this didn't even have much of an impact on me. So, but aside from that, like honestly, this one's just eh. The music is generic action music. The plot you can see a mile away or miles away. Huh? Airplane joke. And honestly, the whole story you could just fly on by and soar through, and you wouldn't miss a beat. So, what would I give Plane? Honestly, just like a 5 out of 10. I was originally going to give it a 6 out of 10 because I like the action scenes and stuff, but that's not enough to really hold the weight. So 5 out of 10. If I used the other review systems, I would probably give it like, because maybe like a matinee, I would give it maybe like a 3 stars out of 5 at most. So yeah, you're not missing too much. So is it worth seeing? That's up to you. If you want an action film that's going to kill 2 hours of your time and you're curious, you could go see it in theaters. But at this point, I'd say rent it for like a couple bucks at most on when it goes digital. So, but that was it. So I don't have too much else to say about this one. This one was kind of just eh. It just soared on by. So, till next time.